relatively new to the Microsoft platform and something that not all of you may have heard of before. So, and I would just want to take a minute and apologize for my voice before we get into it. I am battling a little bit of cold and I do sound pretty husky this morning, so I'm sorry that you have to put up with it. My name is Erin Richmond. I am the Chief Experience Officer here at sMedia and our Ad Operations Manager. So it is my privilege to be talking to you guys today about Microsoft Automotive Ads. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of background information on sMedia before we get into it. I know not all of you on the call are familiar with our company. We have been working in the automotive ad tech space since about 2011. We started in a dealership showroom, and since 2011, we have seen a lot of growth. We are a Microsoft advertising partner, a Google Premier partner, a Meta business partner, and a founding member of the Automotive Standards Council for GA4. We have worked with dealerships across North America, so US and Canada, and we have also added in a few dealerships down in New Zealand. It has been our pleasure to work closely with the Microsoft Ads team in the last year. And with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Anya, who is from the Microsoft Ads team. She is going to be presenting today on the Microsoft Automotive Inventory Ads. So take it away, Anya.
Thank you so much. As I go through this, feel free to just stop me and ask any questions that you have. We'll also have time for questions right at the end, so no problem if you want to hold off.
Yes, and if you guys want to pop your questions in the chat at any time, you can go ahead and do that, and we will also read from the chat at the end of the call.
Yep, definitely. All right. I think, Erin, can you just confirm that you see everything correctly?
Yep.
Perfect. Awesome. So yeah, I will just go over like why you should be thinking about automotive ads with Microsoft, and then we'll cover like what it looks like and some case studies from clients who've been with us before as part of this presentation. If you are familiar with Google VLAs, there are similarities. So they're both feed-based ad products, and obviously they're both geared toward vehicle advertisement specifically, but there are also differences. So that's one thing to note. So why Microsoft Automotive Ads? There's a couple of different reasons, starting off with more volume. So this ad type serves across search and the audience network at the same time, and it works as a complementary like addition with your text ad campaigns or your other audience ad campaigns that you might already be running. We have some analytics that we've done in the background here that we actually find that they tend to perform better when text ads serves along with automotive ads. We see about a 10% lift in clicks in those specific scenarios. We also allow you to like layer in your dynamic retargeting along with automotive ads. We also allow like any like other like levers that you want to use, including like an audience bid modifier or any specific in-market audiences that you want to layer in. So if you're focusing on like maybe Honda specifically as a make, like you can always bid up on that specific make. So you have a lot of different levers along with your bid that you can change to optimize and get the volume that you want specifically. Along with that, this one feed that you would need for Microsoft Automotive Ads can also be used for your free listings in the automotive marketplace. Marketplace is this like website that Microsoft has that essentially is just like a car shopping platform. And you can just upload your feed there for free, and you can show up as an organic listing there if someone is searching in your area or someone is searching for like a car specifically that you have. Along with that, you also get a richer experience because the ad itself, as we'll see in a second, has a lot more information than a typical text ad does. So text ad is just like the blue link, and you just like put in like whatever content that you want there. But on our like automotive ads, you can see the make model, you can see a picture, you can see the pricing, and you can see like other details like mileage and range if you add them in for like an EV, etc. And that it tends to improve like your click-through rates, and that also tends to improve like just the quality of the click that you're getting, because the person who's clicking on this ad knows a lot more about the vehicle that they're going to land on than someone who's just clicking on a generic text ad. Other than that, You also save time with automation because, like I mentioned, it's a feed-based ad product. So one part of that is that we use the feed to populate the actual content of the ad, but we also use the feed to decide when to serve your ad. We don't require keywords, like we don't even use positive keywords. So we automatically look at all the information in your feed and try to understand using our machine learning models when is a good time to trigger this specific feed item. So like this 2012 Honda Civic, like when is the best time to show it and which users would be the most interested in seeing something like this. And we serve it automatically. So that allows you to capture a lot of long tail traffic that you might not be getting right now. So obviously you can cover all the main brand terms, but if someone searches for something super specific, it's unlikely that you have a keyword targeting that. But with automotive ads, you can get that additional volume as well. And one thing to note here is that you can use negative keywords. So if there are certain terms that you simply don't want to show up for, or you think that's not performing well based on your reporting in the UI, you can always go in and put in negative keywords for those, and we will honor that and stop your products from serving on those keywords. I'll pause for questions if anyone has anything, because I covered quite a bit there. Okay, awesome. Focusing on some of the capabilities that we have with automotive ads, on the right side, you can see this little table. It's served on search, it's served on native or display, and it also supports dynamic remarketing lists if you have those. It's served on the image tab on Yahoo, DuckDuckGo, lots of different placements with just one feed all at once. They're also globally available. Like Aaron mentioned, you might be a customer from Canada or New Zealand, and we can serve these ads basically anywhere in the world. So where we already like established support for them, we have clients in all those markets, so you're set up and you won't be the guinea pig. We have in-market audiences and remarketing available, like I mentioned. We honor the negative keywords, and the feed also can be used for automotive marketplace, like I mentioned. Additionally, you can have like the attributes that you want to highlight within the ad, like mileage, range, what else? Specifically, like if you have free delivery or something like that, you can call that out in the feed and that will show up in the ad copy itself. So you can highlight lots of different things that are unique to your dealership. And then additionally, you have control over the bid strategy. So right now it's a manual bid. We are working on auto bidding, but if you want to like stick to like really low bids, you can always do that. Like you have total control over how much you're bidding and how often you change that bid. So that's one advantage with Microsoft Automotive Ads. Additionally, we also support motorcycles, boats, power sports, trailers, etc. So any like non-car vehicle type is also supported. And if you do have a vehicle type that we don't currently support, we love feedback. We would love to also enable that on our platform. Next up, you don't need to link your campaign to your business place on Bing, so that's completely optional for you. It's not related to our product at all. Additionally, we do support a lot of the Google VLA, like column names, etc. So if you already have a Google VLA feed, the setup is even easier. But I know sMedia handles a lot of that on their end, so that's amazing that the feed setup is taken out of your hands if you go with sMedia. And additionally, I will call out like the rich feed attributes does really well relative to text ads, and the CPCs also we found are like really efficient compared to text ads and ads on other platforms. Moving on to some background on like Bing and Microsoft advertising in general and the traffic that we get. Our shoppers are 23% more likely to describe themselves as affluent and are 26% more likely to have over 500K in savings. 45% of the Microsoft in-market respondents bring in between 85 and 200K, which is 16% more than Google shoppers. This is particularly important in the economy that we're in right now because these are the likely shoppers who are looking for a car at this time. On top of that, our CPCs tend to be about 1/3 of what we see at our competitors. So Microsoft is about 61% more cost effective in the auto space specifically. So this is not generic across all search terms. And the recommended bids in the first place are like 3 times more expensive on Google than Microsoft. So you can definitely capture some of that, like more affluent, more high intent traffic with this ad type on Microsoft for a cheaper CPC, hopefully. Additionally, just like zooming out a little bit, talking about the automotive reach that Microsoft has, we have about 16 million unique in-market monthly searchers and about 70 million monthly in-market auto searchers, and 37% PC market share in the US, which is pretty significant because when you're car shopping, like you're a lot more likely to be on PC than on mobile. And one more thing to note here is that like we show up on ad types like across different devices and different platforms, so you can really capture like a wide, diverse amount of traffic through this ad type. So zooming into like what the actual ad looks like, it shows up right below the search bar. In this case, like we have the mainline placement. You can scroll to the right and keep looking at like more and more cars on the right as well. There's also a placement right here. It's called the right rail placement. We can show up there. We can also show up on the image tab, the video tab. And you can see like if you have like a local entity page, we also have ads there. This is an example of the image tab. This is the image tab on mobile. And then this is the automotive marketplace that I mentioned earlier. So we do also have ads on that at the very top. You can see the whole carousel of sponsored listings. But if you sign up and use our feed, you can also just like upload it for free and you'll show up in the organic listings at the bottom here. This is our audience placement. So when someone's just like on MSN or on Edge and they just like open a new tab, you can pop up in one of these placements as well. On the right side is like a mobile version of the audience placement. So what kind of success are we seeing with advertisers who are using automotive inventory ads? Specifically focusing on click and lift conversion, we see about a 8% incremental click lift for like dealers who are coming in for us. For OEMs, it's about 6 to 15% click lift and 3 to 8% conversion lift. Moving down to CPCs for OEMs, like automotive ads have had about 7 to 16% lower CPCs than like non-branded targeted text ads, and third-party sites have seen about like an 28 to 40% drop in CPCs for their automotive ads. The third-party sites is likely what's more applicable to this group. Zoning in on like exactly how sMedia's CPC is averaging, it's about $1.70 for January, but there is a lot of variation within that. It's really up to you and your budget and your bid, where that lands for you. We have some more metrics based on case studies that we've done with specific clients. This is one of our clients in the UK. They saw about 11% additional clicks, 15% lower cost per lead, and 7% lower cost per order. And that's it, I think. We will also send out this deck, so if you want to take a look at any of these numbers later, you're welcome to. I can also answer any questions that you have right now.
Thanks, Anya. If there aren't any questions, I will just go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're seeing from Microsoft Automotive inventory ads at sMedia. One of the things that we're seeing really good success with is just using automotive inventory ads as a strategy to round out your search presence. So as Anya mentioned, the shopping ads or Microsoft Automotive inventory ads will show above the search ads on a search results page. So it's really powerful when a dealership can show in both the photo shopping ad and then as well in text search below. It does give you more of a likelihood that you're going to capture that shopper who is showing intent on the search network. We're also seeing very, very good conversions on these ads. As Anya mentioned, the stats speak to themselves, but when we're looking at these ads in our new attribution platform called Attributely, we're seeing very, very, very good results and a very high influence on sales when we're looking at the Microsoft network for a much lower cost per click than your average search or shopping ad. So Microsoft is really a great opportunity for a dealership to round out their strategy and make sure they're hitting those shoppers who may not be using the Google network and those shoppers who are showing purchase intent on Microsoft. With that, I can open it up for any other questions, comments, or anything you guys might be interested in on the Microsoft network. Okay. It doesn't sound like there's any questions, so I will just say thank you all for joining us this morning. If you guys are interested in learning more about Microsoft Autos ads, you can visit the sMedia website and or email us, sales@smedia.ca. We'll be sending out the slide deck and recording of the call to anyone who wasn't able to make it and as a follow-up for everybody. Oh, what kind of budget would you recommend for this ad type? Thanks, Brian. So it really is regional or region specific. We've seen success with budgets as small as $300 to $500. It depends on your market, how many inventory pieces you have. Larger urban centers, I would definitely recommend between $500 and $1,000, or $500 and $1,000. But a smaller urban center might be able to get away with $300 to $500. The other thing I would say with the Microsoft network is we do recommend a little bit of an expanded geo target. So you can spread out a little bit more than you typically would because your cost per click is lower and you do have a little bit of a lower search volume. So you can push out a little bit more and be more efficient with those budgets for a larger geo.
And you can always layer in some location targeting where you bid up on people who are closer to your location and then bid down on the people who are a little bit farther away.
Absolutely. Andy, you have a question?
Hey, quick question. You spoke earlier about the difference between mobile and desktop for car shoppers. I know that we historically see the most of our VLA ads for Google ads coming on mobile. Those clicks, much higher volume. Do you see the same thing with Microsoft, or do you have clients that just do desktop on Microsoft?
Yeah, so we, as a Microsoft advertising network, we lean heavily on PC. We don't have as much of a mobile presence, so most of our traffic is PC, but I can find some metrics that we can send out to you later on how much we see the PC versus mobile distribution of automotive searches.
Thanks.
Great question. Okay. Excellent. Well, thanks everyone for taking the time today. We'll send out a follow-up deck. If there are any other questions, though, you can definitely give us an email. And hopefully everyone has a great day.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.